contains copyrighted material used under the fair use provisions of U.S. Copyright Law, Title 17 U.S. Code Section 107. It is intended for educational, commentary, and research purposes. All rights belong to their respective owners. No copyright infringement is intended.
Hello, everybody. Marlee, let's do a sound check. How you doing? Say something.
Hello.
Hi, welcome. Everybody, welcome. Did you like my copyright, my fair use statement?
Hello, everybody. Whoop, whoop.
We have people in the chat. I'm so excited. And guess what? We have somebody backstage, right, honey? I'm so excited. You're kind of breaking up a little bit, but you're good. You're good. Hi, everybody in the chat, and welcome to Mindfork and Cosmic Carousel. We are multi-streaming today, and we're going to be having a really good time. We're going to be talking music. Right, honey? Marlee, talk to us. I'm doing a temperature check on Marlee. I think Marlee's frozen. Can you guys hear me? I need a check from the chat. And I think I hear Marlee in and out. You are here. Okay, cool. And then I'm going to go ahead and add our... I can hear you.
Chris, for whatever reason, I can't do the chat. So I just want to say hello to everybody in the chat and let them know for whatever reason I can't get my chat working. But that's okay. I'll be keeping an eye, and I just love you all.
And we love you, and we rather hear you because we have a lot of stuff to cover today, and we rather hear you, and I can definitely take care of the chat because chatters are important. So everybody know that she loves you very much, and we're just having some technical issues, but we're going to be okay. So welcome on this lovely Sunday. How are you doing, Marlee? Before we say hi to Benny, and I am gonna put the StreamYard out for our friends. Anybody wants to join. So tell me how you're doing today.
I'm doing great. I've been so excited for this today. And well, you know, Chris, we've been talking this week. So I've been floating high, getting ready for this. It's going to be a great show.
I'm super excited. For anybody that's listening, it's like, what are we doing now? So we haven't been on since like Christmas. It was like the holiday follies. And we've just been,
Am I freezing?
Busy. No, you're freezing, but I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Marlee? Okay.
Yeah,
so,
I can hear you.
Marlee and I have been talking.
Yeah, I can hear you. You're breaking up, but do you want me to go out and come back in again?
Why don't you do that? Let's try that. And if you want your other headphones, if those are better, we can check. Today is casual, and hopefully, you guys, I'm going to say hi to chat while you do that, okay? And I'm going to bring in I have somebody backstage, you guys. I'm going to open up the StreamYard also if anybody wants to join, because Marlee and I'll give an intro while she gets things set up. Marlee and I have been talking. I've been doing this whole series on Rockstars and UFOs. Started finding like all kinds of synchronicities in our rock stars and the experiences that they were having. People like John Lennon, Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, Matt Bellamy, who we'll be covering today from Muse. Of course, David Bowie and our Red Rocker, Sammy Hagar. I mean, his songs, when we start studying the songs and looking at the experiences, we wonder, it's like, where's this inspiration coming from? So that's kind of what brought us here. And just so you know kind of what we're going to be doing, hi, I miss you today. And I'm going to say hi to Chad in a second. So what we're going to be doing today, we have all kinds of cool stuff. So we're going to be covering our rockers. We're going to be covering some of the lyrics. And I always say this wrong, binaural. binaural? Not binaural. I didn't say that. Binaural beats. I'm going to let Marlee do that one when she gets back because my Puerto Rican mouth cannot say this. And I've been trying to say it all freaking week. And every single time I mess up. Thank you. So I'm going to say hi to chat real quick. And while I do that, I'm going to bring in Benny. Benny, your microphone. Hi. And I'm not going to Berkshire. I ain't saying that. Show's puppy. Show's puppy.
I've just put him away.
Put him away. I know. My cat decided to move because she's like tired of me. Like
I'm sure she'll be back out shortly though.
Exactly. So we're gonna be covering you have your headphones, people. Get your headphones because when we start covering these frequencies, I'm going to be playing some clips of some sounds. Excuse me, and we're going to see how does this make you feel? Because and I think Marlee's back. Let's test this. Marlee, darling, are you back? Oh, perfect. That sounds so good.
Yay!
Okay, can you please pronounce? Can you pronounce the beats properly? Because I mess up every time I say.
Binaural beats.
Binaural. Thank you.
Binaural or binaural?
Yeah, I've heard binaural. Sorry,
I thought it was binary. Binary.
You see, she's from Canada. I'm from Puerto Rico, and you're British. So we got a whole combo of versions of what these beats are about. So we're gonna be listening to those in a bit. Let me say hi to the chat. And I'm so glad you got your sound fixed. Yay! From Italy. Ooh, wait. Today I posted one about ufologists who died under mysterious circumstances. It's Oliviero from Italy. We're so glad you're here. I gave him an idea. I'll write a Medium article about UFOs. Oh my God, yes. Dude, there's so many stories, Oliviero. You're going to be shocked when you start. I mean, I have like 7 parts to the shorts. So I'm doing like these shorts. And we have some of them that I'm going to show today. Hopefully I won't get shut down over my own shorts that are posted on my channel. But yeah, so it's just really interesting to see all of these artists. Hopefully, if you guys did not get a chance to watch Robbie Williams, I just premiered a video. It was called Arizona by Robbie Williams, and Robbie Williams basically wrote this because of an experience, right? He saw something, and something inspired him. So we're going to close out. When we close out the show, I might do an encore of that just because it goes with this theme. So Marlee, tell me how I've talked about the rock star part, but when you and I talked about this, it was so important that we talk about the power of music. So you want to talk a little bit about that? Can you hear me?
Well, music, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So music, it connects us to our soul, and music can put us into many different types of emotional states, good, bad, or indifferent, depending on the frequency of what it is we're listening to. So to me, music is equivalent to energy, right? It doesn't matter what kind of energy, it's energetic in one way or another. And we have this subliminal power of sounds and how they make us feel and what they do to our bodies because of them vibrate at specific frequencies. So when we introduce frequencies into that, then it shifts the way that the water within our body is vibing and flowing. So it's a pretty incredible thing because you can see the difference, and we're going to show people that today, some of the differences between how does your body feel when you listen to something heavy or dark, and how does your body feel when you listen to something incredible? And then we're going to go into different stories behind the songs, and I'm just things too when we talk about this and the frequencies with the water. So I'm excited.
I know. I gotta
music
find that
affects
video.
all of us in one way or another. So let's figure.
I
Yes.
gotta find that video because I did not. That's the one I did not upload. And we were talking about, we're mostly water, right? And they've done all those experiments where it's like if you take water and you're surrounded with negativity versus, for insults or nasty thoughts or just nasty speech, it actually turns murky. So just like we do when we're, we talk about. Let's address the elephant in the room. Obviously, social media is kind of a nightmare right now. When you go out there, I come out just kind of scared. I feel like I need like a little therapy. So, and again, it's like you expose yourself to certain things and they get on you like sap, like from a tree. And they tend to block, your ability to really just experience the world the way it should be. It's like it just weighs heavy. So, so Benny, let me ask Benny something because we're going to talk about this. So, Benny, do you have songs like we were talking about? We have a couple of examples of music that inspires us. Like, there's times when you're like feeling kind of sad or blue, or you need some extra energy. What's your power up song of choice, if you don't mind sharing?
There's not really a particular song, but generally, music can affect your mood in any way. You can feel nostalgia, happiness, sadness after a breakup. If you listen to particular songs, it does that. So I do believe there is something to the music, but there's no particular song that.
Any particular genre?
No, not really. I listen to most music, really.
I have the music taste of a serial killer, with everything from Barry Manilow to Iron Maiden. So I understand that.
There is one I did. A long playlist on YouTube, about 3 hours long, and I put it on, and I was doing some work from home, and next thing I know, the next playlist had come on, and I was already halfway through that. So I'd done like 4 hours worth of work without even realizing I'd done it. It just made
that's the trippy part, right?
Yeah, it can make you focus. It can show you out. It can do anything. There's all sorts to it. There's not many things that can do
that. It's like a time machine.
It's one, yeah.
Yes,
I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, there's hours, like sometimes at work, if I'm really jamming, like I will put on my AirPods and I'm like, I'm going to just get in the zone. And Marlee and I were talking about particular songs. I'm going to try to play this. So one of the groups, I hope that we don't get in trouble with this. So one of the groups that we're going to be talking about today is Muse. And that's one of your inspiring songs, right? Tell me about Uprising. I'm going to try to play a chunk of Uprising. Tell me about Uprising, how it makes you feel, Marlee.
So I found Uprising when it first came out. I've been a fan of Muse, and that is one of my go-tos when I am feeling like I really need a kickstart of energy and also empowerment, because that song empowers me when I sing along to the words with what the words mean for me. And it just kind of brings you into this incredible, like I'm a divine warrior and I'm going to get through this day and I'm going to have the energy. And so this song, Muse, is literally Uprising by Muse, is one of my favorite go-tos for energetic.
Oh, she froze. There we go. I'm going to play a clip of that. It's like 15 seconds. And then I do have lyrics here, because every time I read, like I look at these songs and I'm listening, there's so many times you don't even listen to what the lyrics are actually saying. And that's where the magic is. So that's where it's like studying these things becomes really interesting. So here's Marlee's special power up song, or a clip of it. See, I got to keep it at 15 seconds because I don't want to get in trouble. But that's like right there. It's like a moment in music. So I love that song. In the lyrics, Marlee, I love that. I'm going to read a couple of these lyrics. Kind of like a poem, right? Because it is a poem, because that's what songs are.
Yes, please.
Paranoia is
Yes.
in bloom. The PR transmissions will resume. They'll try to push drugs that keep us all dumbed down and hope that we will never see the truth around. Isn't that interesting lyrics? I'm going to keep going. Hold on. Ooh, in more. There's more. Wait, there's more. It's like an infomercial. Another promise, another scene, another packaged lie to keep us trapped in greed. And all the green belts wrapped around our minds and endless red tape to keep the truth confined. I realize I sound like the days of Christmas when I'm reading this, but this is Muse. But isn't that interesting? Diane's like, powerful, very powerful. I'm like, this is interchanging. Oh, this is good. It keeps going. Interchanging mind control. Come, let the revolution take its toll. If you could flick the switch and open your third eye, you'd see that we should never be afraid to die. I mean, my whole point in this series, Marlee, and I'm like, I'm all pumped up now. I'm like, this lyrics is the truth in the lyrics. Let's talk about that, Marlee. What do you think?
It's the truth in the lyrics, but even the chorus of the lyrics, when you get to the chorus, they will not destroy us. They will not control us. All of that stuff. And that's the stuff that empowers me, because I've been a nonconformist my entire 58 years of life. And so when the first time I heard that song, I'm like, that song was written for me, because I'm all about disclosure for the truth. And I am all about empowerment of the soul and spirit. So it kind of does it all for me, that song.
I love that song. And I'm going to play my power up song. And then let's cover a little bit of Matt Bellamy, since we're talking about Muse, because he also had his own experience. So we're going to be talking about Matt Bellamy and Muse and all the other songs, because I mean, Muse is more than just that song. I mean, we got I'm sorry, my allergies are kicking, so I sound like what is it? Sound like a rough rocker. What was it? Oh my God. Not Jim Croce. He wasn't. Yeah, I sound like okay, hold on. This is cool. I'm just so excited. Here's another thing of Muse. This is cool. Remember this? This is Muse. Now, if Diane knows this song because she's from Forks, and you know that they use this song in Twilight. I always call Diane. It's like, hey,
used it in something else as well. I was trying to think of what it was.
Yeah, it is actually supermassive black hole. So right there, Muse talking about black holes. So that's another one. And I'm going to do my little power up song, because I love this song. In the morning when I'm like really want to get going, like stuff like this just gets me started. So let's see if you guys have to know this. Who does not get going to Tommy Lee, right? That's Tommy Lee, Vince Neil, Motley Crue. I went to that concert 7 months pregnant. And you know, I was really upset that they did not search me, because that baby could have been a bomb. Oh, it started playing on its own. That baby could have been a bomb. And they didn't search me at that concert. I'm just saying, I might have looked like just a mild-mannered mom, IT nerd, but I could have had a bomb in that belly. So, do you like Motley Crue? Anybody a fan of Motley Crue? How about Chad? I would talk to Chad.
Yes, absolutely.
We got some rockers. Hey, oh my God, XJ's here. Let's say, keep saying hi to people. And we got Jeanette Angel is here, and Diane's here. Beginning, love that, and everybody's cool. So, anybody, yeah, kickstart my heart. I watched a documentary. Did you guys see the documentary Motley Crue? It's not a documentary; it's a movie. It was actually pretty cool.
It was amazing.
It was so good. I thought it was great. It really humanized. You think of them as just being rockers that got out of control, but there's so much more.
Absolutely.
You know. So, are you a Motley Crue fan, Benny?
No.
Wah, wah. I should have brought my Debbie Downer.
It might be interesting to. It could be interesting to play them in reverse, like they say, reverse speech.
Just like the Beatles.
There's a few, isn't there? That
And Led Zeppelin.
Well, they say that what is it? On the Wi-Fi's they played the when they first landed on the moon, one small step for mankind. Apparently, if you play that in reverse, it says "Man will spacewalk," is what it says in reverse.
Really?
Apparently.
Okay, I didn't know that, but that's a different angle to all these songs, because again, the messages are hidden in song.
Mm-hmm.
They could be embedded and to the point that it would be like subconscious, to subconsciously hit us, but not overtly, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
What I do know, AJ on the White House did do a lot of investigation into reverse speech, and it did it on it played some clips from the old President Bush, not the George one before, and he was saying about a desert storm and things that he was in reverse speech. That was in it a year before they actually went into Iraq in the first Gulf War. So it could be interesting to play them backwards, see what.
We might have to do that. Well, this is going to turn into a series. So, and it is a series. So we decided to do is kind of like, we're going to try like focus on a certain type of frequency per show, and then on certain artists. But these are the kind of things that we need to talk about. You know, our messages embedded in reverse. I mean, there should be no stone unturned. We have a fan of David Bowie here in the chat. You're in luck, Oliviero, because we're going to talk about Bowie. And Bowie, we're going to talk about Black Star, his last album. That's something we're going to, that's probably going to be one of the last things we cover today. I'm like super hyper. I'm going to play, since we're talking Muse, do you guys want to see Matt Bellamy talk about his experience? And I married it with the song Exopolitics. I don't know if I have the lyrics to that one. Exopolitics is a really interesting song because it's actually talking about the politics of the extraterrestrial phenomena. So I'm going to play Matt Bellamy because he talks about his own experience in this clip. So hang in there. Any moment now. And then we're going to listen to a couple of other songs as well that emanate a little bit different. There we go. Okay, you guys.
I did. I absolutely did. I was about 17, 16. I don't know. But it was at night, and in the middle of a forest. I was driving to like woodland and stuff, and I saw this like flashing light that was in the woodland, and it was really like unusual at that time.
So a repeating theme is mind control. That's one thing I've noticed in like most of these songs. We have a repeating theme of mind control. What did you think of that, of Exopolitics? Have you listened to that one before, Marlee?
I have not. It was pretty cool. Like I want to listen to the whole thing. So I'm writing it down to have a listen to it later.
Yeah, it's a trip when I'll find somebody that had an experience, and I say, okay, give me any songs that they have written about that experience. And then all of a sudden you find these songs that you have sang to before, but you never realized what you were singing. It's like the lyrics never really, like, you never really got it until you sit down and really research that. Hold on. Here is Sienna's in the chat. Sienna, Marlee's having
Hi,
technical
Sienna. Love you, sister.
I'm putting the StreamYard link for anybody else that wants to join in the fun, because this is just a casual conversation, and we're gonna be trying some beats here in a minute. But here's some more songs. So here's some more songs that are kind of fun. Hold on. What was I gonna play? Hold on. I was going to play something. Oh, so we were talking about songs that are like positive, right? So here's, I'm going to try to play this Ajit Kaur. What is her name? Ajit Kaur?
Ajit Kaur.
Kaur.
Yes.
So
yeah.
Tell me a little bit about Ajit. I'm about to play her. Who is Ajit? Tell me a little bit about Ajit. Is this just like
well, that is my. Oh, there we go. Okay. Ajit Kaur is somebody that I use to pull myself to get ready for meditation. I use it when I'm working on energy healing for my patients that come into the wellness center. And most of them fall asleep because it's just so, it's very relaxing. So you can tell the difference from like Muse, my go-to for powering up, and then like go-to for powering down, right? So that's what Ajit Kaur does for me. I love her so much, and you guys will see. Just pay attention to how it makes you feel when you go from the heavier stuff to this that Chris is going to play now, and you'll notice a big shift in the vibration that your body feels with it.
Okay. Yeah, so let me play her. I was so impressed. I've never heard of her until you brought her up, and she's amazing. So hold on. Have you heard? You have probably haven't heard of this person, Betty. So this will be new to you. Check it out. Isn't that lovely? It just took you for, it's like it cradles you. It's like it's just holding you on your way down, right? From being all powered up. That's what music can do. And I want to put, when I'm done with the show, I want to put some of these links so people can go back and reference some of these songs on your own time. Because I mean, there's some amazing albums out there that I've never heard of before. So now let me show you the flip side of that. When you go into a club, I mean, and I'm going to pick on a group that I actually like, because this group goes back to this. This group showed up in a movie called Empire Records back in the day. That I just, it's one of my go-to old movies. But you will recognize this group. Maybe some of you guys do. Here's the opposite of Ajit.
We fought days, giving birth to the human race. The existence was a big mistake. A bastard offspring, so we said, fuck this place.
Okay, we're done. That is Gwar. Aren't they awesome? In Empire Records, it actually, like Ethan, it's really famous actor, maybe not so famous, but there's an actor that's on screen and this worm comes out and it like eats him. That's Gwar. So how does Gwar make you feel, Benny?
It's not something I'd watch.
It's an acquired taste. It makes me a little anxious. As music can calm you, like Ajit did, it can also fire you up. And I don't know about you guys, but I get triggered by music sometimes. I'll be listening, and Stuart can talk about that. He's not
Yeah.
here, but you can ask my husband. Some songs they go on, and I'm like, I go from being in a good mood to being grumpy cat.
I've seen a friend do that. I've seen someone who I know, quite a friend, listen to particular types of music, and they just change in a flip of a dime.
So that tells you there's something. Music is like hitting buttons in our soul, in our being, and it's impacting us in the water that we're made of, in my opinion. And the more, again, you have to kind of find that music that it's like grounding.
Yeah.
Marlee, I want you to talk for a minute because I'm
It can
tired of
change your
talking.
emotions.
Mhm.
Changes your emotions and things.
Absolutely. And again, I can.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You feel all different emotions with different music because it vibrates the water within our body very differently. And we can get very angry, we can get agitated, like something like what you just played there, Chris. That makes me feel like I have to like power through everything, and then it would exhaust me. You know what I mean? So I would feel exhausted. When I listen to Ajit Kaur, it's like I could listen to her for 24 hours and just feel so chill all the time, right? It's really incredible because we have to always consider with sound the frequency. So even if it's not music, and we are speaking a specific frequency, it will affect a person in a certain way because of the way it forces the water within our body to vibrate. So we can get agitated by somebody's voice if they're reaming us out, or if we pick up on bad energy or something. It's all the same thing. So
It's like
it's
the tone
so
of a voice, you
beautiful
can
when
tell. The tone of someone's voice, you can
Exactly.
tell whether they're angry, sad, relaxed. It's all been the tone.
Absolutely. And it's beautiful too to me when I listen to music, and I've done this my whole life because I also have played music. I've played multiple instruments and I've been a singer most of my life. So when I think about that, I think of just the different trajectories and the stories behind the music that they are saying. So like Chris was saying a little while ago, oftentimes we don't pay attention to the words or the lyrics of the songs. And if we did, we could really feel the soul of the musician. And that's what I look for when I listen to any type of music. I listen for the soul to come through, because anybody could do anything with music. But if it's coming from the soul and spirit, it's going to be that much bigger. It's going to be that much better. And it's going to vibrate at a frequency that's going to make everybody feel incredible if you can tie into the soul of the musician that is the creation. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm so glad you brought that up too, because that takes me to, then we have the empty music. We do have, like I consider, I'm sorry, AI, I'm sorry, the robot overlords, but AI music doesn't feel like it has a soul. We look at the artists that are on the screen here on the thumbnail, right? You got, Sammy Hagar, you got John Lennon, Mick Jagger, David Bowie, and then you listen to AI music and you're like, there's nothing. It's like what? It's like looking at dead eyes, And I love AI for creating art, but I don't necessarily love it for. Don't think it belongs in music. Hi, Bigfoot Michigan Rob is in the house. Our mateys. Don't forget to go and subscribe to BMR because he's got some really cool stuff going. BMR, and his mateys. Okay, so that was the commercial that I'm now doing for BMR. There, I'm not even going to charge you for that, buddy. Because I'm just so much clout, right? You gotta have to pay me. So how about some beats, you guys? Should we do some testing? Now that we took him down to
Yeah.
Warland, let's test to see. We're going to do some tests. Everybody, if you're listening in, please put on AirPods, headphones, something, so you can really hear what we're about to play. And I'm going to test. I actually loaded them in 2 volumes because I know that, you download stuff and then you play it through StreamYard, it goes through YouTube, and it might, lose something. So I'm going to start with, and Marlee, I'll let you talk to them, but let me play one at a time. So I'm going to start with 4 hertz. Do you want to talk a little bit? Or should we play? Let's talk about that. Should we play it first and then tell them and then ask them how they're feeling? And then, or should we just kind of randomly play?
Okay. Well, what I was thinking is I was going to read off the hertz and what it's for. And then I thought you would play the beat for
Then
that.
do it. I'm ready for it. I have them all. Yeah. I have 4, 7.86. I included that. I got 8, 13,
Okay.
20,
Okay.
30, and 40.
Okay.
And 40 is like 30 and above. So I just picked up 40 hertz for that one. So
yeah.
go for it.
Okay. So, all right. So the beats have do 2 different frequencies. And this is the importance of why we use headphones to listen to binaural beats or binaural beats, however you want to say it. So they have the different frequencies, and that's for a purpose. It's for brain function, to get the left and right part of the brain working in sequence. So they travel to the corpus callosum part of the brain, and they develop another frequency altogether. So the brain then adjusts to the frequency, and this is called entrainment. So they can change your brain wave states. So 0.5 hertz to 4 hertz is referred to as delta waves, and they're blackout. That is like blackout phase. So do you want to play that, Chris? And then I'll go to the next one.
Okay, chatters, get ready. This is 4 hertz coming your way. I want you to tell me. It's only like 30 seconds of it. So I want you guys to feel this. So get ready. Here we go. Hopefully you can hear it. It does feel like you're in a tunnel, but so what do you guys think about that? Give me a beat. I should have played that. Give me a beat. Janet Jackson, by the way. Not you. You guys, anybody in chat? So what did you guys think of the 4 hertz? By the way, was it too intensely loud? Because I can't tell if it was like too loud, or did you guys hear it okay,
No.
Ben?
Yeah.
You good?
I heard it.
It felt like I was in a tunnel.
Yes. And that's kind of what it does, because it's putting you into like a pass out stage, like a blackout kind of phase, right? So that's why you will have the tunneling type of tone, right? Because it does make you feel that. But then we go to the next hertz that's 4 to 8 hertz, which is theta waves. And this will make you drowsy, sleepy. It's really good binaural beats for nighttime if you're trying to get to sleep. So go ahead, Chris, and play some theta for us.
So theta is 8 hertz, right? Because the 7.86 is the Schumann. We'll wait for that one for the end. So I'm going to play the 8 hertz. Okay, get ready, you guys. Here we go. And that's actually the lower volume of the two. I'm starting to worry that I made this too loud. I want to make sure you guys are okay over there in the audience. Everybody good? Okay, so that was 8 hertz. So that's supposed to kind of put you in the zone for meditation.
For sleep. That's
For
a
sleep,
good one.
sorry. That's the sleeping one.
It will make you feel drowsy. It will make you feel like it's time for bed. And that's a really good one that I use often before sleep, right? So then we go to 9 to 13 hertz, which is the alpha waves. And so these waves are just very, very chill. It's really good to slide into meditation and mindfulness. So that is the hertz level for binaural beats that we would use for meditation and mindfulness. If you want to go ahead and play that tone, Chris, so everybody can see the difference.
Okay, here we go with 13 hertz. And that was 13.
Yeah.
I feel like my ears popped on that one.
Yeah.
I really do. Are you putting messages in our head? It pops my ears when it ends. Oh my God, that's what I just said, Diane. It popped, my ears popped at the end of Hertz 13. And no, I'm not inserting anything in there. These are just pure, they don't have any subliminal messaging. You're going to start like, I have to have pizza. Pizza Hut. I have to have Pizza Hut. No, I did not embed any marketing into this. Like, I must get Pop-Tarts. Anyway, so that popped my ears. Like it felt like the pressure came out of my head. How interesting.
Yes, but see, so you can tell the shift in the each individual hertz level and the difference. And we're going to keep going here. So now we're going to 14 to 30 hertz, which is the beta waves.
Yeah, actually, I have 20. Okay, I have 20, 30, and 40. So which one do you want me to? I have 20.
Okay, so
this is 20 to 30. Yeah.
Okay, so that's beta, which is great. And it gets you engaged and it gets you busy. Like you've got power, you're feeling energetic. And it's really good for a number of things to just get you motivated and moving. So go ahead, Chris.
Okay, ready, you guys. This is the power of hertz. 20. Your way. What did you guys think? That got me like, I'm already typing. I'm like getting going. Benny, did that get you going? Benny's really so high energy.
Sorry, I was looking at something else while you were doing it about sound. Apparently, high frequency sound is now treated in the UK to treat prostate cancer.
You see?
Yes.
Because it all goes down to energy, frequency, and vibration. You know, so here we're covering frequency, but it's like, it's crazy, right? Go ahead, Marlee. I want to hear this because this is good.
Well, I would really like to comment on what Benny just shared because he's bang on. And, you know, most of you know, I have a little wellness center here on my property. Much of what I do is energy healing and sound bath healing. So I have crystal singing bowls for every specific chakra that's tuned to each specific chakra in the body to cleanse and clear those. So you are bang on, Benny, that sound and tones are used for healing all the time. I do it all the time here in my wellness center, and I'm really happy that you brought that up. The other thing that I wanted to just let people know, we are just giving you the tones for the actual binaural beat frequency. But when you actually listen to binaural beats, they have a lot more to them. So I don't want you guys to think, oh, we're just going to go find a binaural beat and it's going to sound just like the tone that you're hearing here. That is the tone in the background to do what it needs to do for whatever it is you're trying to do. But just realize there's so much more to it. It's not a boring thing. It's pretty incredible when we get the right and left parts of the brain working, with each other. I can't think of my word right now. But now, then we're going to, sorry, go ahead. Were you going to say something, Ben?
No. Go on.
Oh, okay. So then we have 30 plus hertz. So this goes up quite significantly. And this is gamma. This will be the gamma waves. And it's for very, very high brain activity. So it's really great for learning. And these are the ones that I like to listen to when I'm driving. When I'm on a mission and I'm on a road trip, the gamma waves are what I want to hear. So go for it, Chris.
Okay, I'm going to play. This is 40 hertz. That's the right one, right? That should work. Yeah. Okay, 40 hertz. Here you go. Totally different game, man, from the 4 hertz all the way. When you think about when we started at the 4 all the way to 40.
Yes. And those ones are the highest and strongest on the spectrum for that. So it helps you reach your highest state of consciousness, that one. So if you're really wanting to go within and evolve your energy and your consciousness, gamma state would be the state that you would want to be hitting for that. Definitely. Thanks for playing those, Chris.
So we gave you a beat. Dun, 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 dun. I should have uploaded that one. Nasty. No, that was the other song. Nasty Girls. Anyway, so back to the show. So we have a rock star coming up next here. We're going to talk about one of my favorites in the whole wide world. This guy, John Lennon. What a legend. John Lennon here is John Lennon and the cover of Nobody Told Me with Yoko. Nobody Told Me is a song that actually talks about aliens. It actually says UFOs over in New York, and I am not surprised. And because he had his own experience, I'm going to go ahead and play a little clip of John Lennon talking about when he saw a UFO in New York, a place he loved so much, and unfortunately is a place where, a few years after this, he was gone. But here we go. Here's the lovely John Lennon.
Over here, up there, I saw a UFO, and it went down the river, turned right at the United Nations, turned left, and then down the river. It wasn't a helicopter, it wasn't a balloon, and it was so near.
And it looked what, sort of round, white, luminescent, and silent?
Silent, and it looked dark, like black or grey in the middle, and had white lights, just looked like light bulbs, just going off, on, blink, 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 round the bottom, and on top was a red light.
Interesting, right? What'd you guys think of that? John Lennon talking about the UFO he saw. The story sounds very familiar. I mean, this was actually, years ago when he said this, but what'd you think about that, Benny? You knew that John saw UFO, right?
Yeah, it was interesting he said the colour, because a lot of people say they go metal black, don't they? And he didn't say that, he said grey-black colour. Yeah.
And then he talked about the lights, which that was also interesting. Because a lot of it, the red lights, that kind of reminds you, it's like Phoenix lightish, or it's a familiar story. I might need you, Marlee, to take over here for a minute, only because my cat just got up. Can you take over for 1 second? Let's see.
Yes.
Actually, so let me just check on my cat real quick. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic. We're going to talk about Bowie soon. You talk about that for a second. I'll be right back.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about David Bowie, because as we know, so many of his stuff, he was like the star man. His last album was Black Star, that I've been trying to decipher. And this is something that we really want you guys to help with, because David Bowie's, so before he died, he did this album, and he was really suffering with cancer. And he asked his agent to release this new album. It was literally 2 days prior to his death, January 10th, 2016. He released it on his birthday, which was January 8th, 2016. And it's really interesting if you go to that album and you look at the videos that he did, and the words, the lyrics behind Black Star. He said, and what his agent said was that this was a gift to humanity with many, many different, what's the word, Chris? Like just wanting to leave people information and hints about what was going on. He wanted to provide some disclosure because he was passing away, and his fans meant so much to him. So it's really, really
I actually
cool.
have a clip of it. I actually have a little clip of it, of Black Star, if you want me to play that.
Okay.
And then I'm just trying to do a trade-off of I have dog and 2 cats and no husband at home right now. So I'm like, trying to take care of them. Let me play this, and then you guys can continue to discuss. Because check out Black Star and Lazarus. That's the other one, the other video from that album. That's like, it just, man, it just gives you the feels, definitely. So here's Black Star.
So if we look at that, what Chris just played, we see the Starman, we see the astronaut that he actually started with way back. I think it was either 60s or 70s that Starman came out. So when you think about that, it's like he's giving us a message, so I would really, really love for the people that are here in the audience, have a look and go through the videos of this, because there are 3 songs on this album that David Bowie did. One is that one, the Black Star. One is Lazarus, which is really kind of crazy too, and so much within it. And the other one is very interesting. The title of the song, I Can't Give Everything Away, is one of the titles of the song on that. So what I noticed in that specific song, the elemental structure that he is showing. So you will see it if you watch the video. And he's also repeating the infinity symbol over and over and over in that video. And you see the astronaut at the end fading into oblivion toward the dark star. So weightless in space. The other one is like the black star, like a theoretical celestial object forms when a star needs, like, reaching its end of its life. So it emits a faint glow, and you see that in the video you just played, Chris, the faint glow of the sun behind, that the star is giving up, right? So collapsing into the black hole. So you also see in these videos, he has this wrapping around his eyes with buttons on the bandages of the eyes. And, you've got to think the solar eclipse. You have to think then in this video, the skeleton rises and he's talking about falling angels. So I find that very interesting. And he says, like, the astronaut suit in that video is taped up. So it's very old. It has worn over the years. And now you see in these videos, he's got masking tape taping up the parts of the astronaut suit before he moves on to the next part of his journey. And he says over and over, in the pillar of all men, in the center of it all, the candle the candle is burning in the center of it all. So is he talking about your own divine light within? That's what I'm thinking. The candle in the center of it all is your own divine light. And it's burning in the center of everything, So I think it's very cool. And the Lazarus song, have a look at that video, because he's saying, look up here, I'm in heaven. So he's already talking like he's already gone. And he says, I'll be free. Ain't that like me to be free? So I think these things are really amazing. And I think he talks about hallucinations. And he says, I'm high in these songs. I'm high. But he was on a great deal of morphine for his pain. And so, of course, he was hallucinating. And he took those hallucinations and presented them in such an incredible way to provide us his last, final, grandiose thing. And, I've been thinking ever since this happened, that this came out in 2016, the messages behind it and the reason that he needed to put this out when he did. So we have to think, what message did he leave his fans? And did
you say that he wasn't, the song recorded, he wasn't able to tell it to say anything or something like that? One of these.
No.
Didn't you just say? It makes it sound like, to me, he's been told not to tell the people the full story, and with a tape and that, he could have been restrained in saying what he knew.
Excellent.
And they do say that certain drugs as well can open your mind up to this sort of thing.
Absolutely. And that's actually something, Benny, that Akashi, Chris, and I were talking about the other day, that we're going to bring into this series about psychedelics and the creation of music, and what that's done. So
we're going to cover Jimi Hendrix in that one, Benny, because Jimmy's got his own story as well. So go ahead.
And Janis Joplin.
And Janis.
Yeah. So I would just love to hear any of you that maybe have watched these videos. I would love to get your take on it. If you haven't watched it, I would really love if you would watch them. And then when we do the next video, you can let us know what your thoughts were. Like, I would really love some feedback, because I've been trying to put these pieces of the puzzle together. We also have to remember, like, the title of this, like the Rockstars and UFOs. And David Bowie played an alien in Lazarus in the movie. And
in
so,
Labyrinth. Lazarus in Labyrinth. Oh, he was awesome. He was so awesome in Labyrinth.
And he played an alien in that. So there's the connection with him being a rock star. You got your Starman, you've got your Black Star, and you've got Labyrinth, where he was an alien. So I wanted to kind of bring all of those in. And do you know that Black Star, Elvis also had a song, Black Star?
No, I didn't know. And Elvis had, I mean, Elvis's father had an experience the day that Elvis was born. So that is one of the ones that we have on our list. So interesting. I didn't know.
Does David Bowie have a song called, gone to Spotify, Born in a UFO as well? That's one of his.
Oh, he had the thing. I don't know about that one, but Bowie had so many songs.
Life on
Outer Space,
Life on Mars.
I just Googled it.
Yeah.
And David Bowie does it on Spotify. Have a song, Born in a UFO.
Born in a UFO. Okay, I didn't know about that one. I'm gonna have to cover that one because I didn't know.
I didn't either.
That's cool. I'm gonna play real
album?
quick. I'm gonna go ahead and play the Bowie short because I did have one. I just had to run and get the cat because that one has Life on Mars, and naturally, this is Bowie talking about it or not. I find it interesting not talking about aliens because he's being straight up asked about this, and he is avoiding the question like the plague. So you guys watch.
It's a god-awful small affair to the girl with the mousy hair, but her mummy is yelled.
For me, that it only ever represented spiritual search. I mean, I don't, I'm not madly obsessed about the thing. I tend to have just used the idea of the alien or the otherness of beings as to pinpoint a sense of isolation or alienation. The idea, is the life on Mars. I could care less.
I love Bowie.
I do too.
Ziggy Stardust fan, Benny?
I know some of his song, but
well, can I share one more thing about him that this made me fall in love with David Bowie way back in the day. And I talked to you about this, Chris. When MTV came out way back, back when the dinosaurs roamed the earth and MTV became a thing, it was really incredible because I watched an interview that they did with David Bowie, and they were playing his videos and songs all over the place, all day, every day, 24/7. He came on the show and he asked them why they were not playing more Black artists and that he was going to be unwilling to have them play his music if they didn't start, because he said to them, the only Black artist you're playing right now, it seems, is Michael Jackson. And that seems very racist to me because there's so many very incredible Black musicians. And I was like, yes, because he pretty much told them, looked them right in the eye, and he's like, you people are racist. And until you start playing some of this incredible music, you're not going to play mine. And I was very, very proud of him that day. I had so much respect for him because there's a lot to go around and everybody gets a chance if they so want it. It doesn't matter where they come from. And I just thought that was a beautiful thing. And I just wanted to share that in case any of you did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
David Bowie does share the same birthday as Elvis, apparently.
Elvis,
well.
Yep, January 8th.
How crazy is that, right? And then January, and he died a couple of days after that, right? So 2 days after.
On the 10th of
so
Yeah.
and on screen we have, so it's crazy that he did that, right? Because if you recall, and I remember those MTV days, at that time, I'm pretty sure that Dancing in the Streets was with two experienced rock stars here on our screen, which are David Bowie and Mick Jagger, that they sang together. And that was a huge music video for MTV. People were like loving, between that and like Under Pressure came out later, but it's like those songs where he did collabs were so huge. And then he took a stance. I mean, that told you kind of the measure of the man, right? You know, just a great guy. Everybody on chat just loves Bowie. So what we were talking about, and I'm sorry I missed that at the beginning, is where you know how some channels have like book studies, right? We don't really read. We like music. So we're treating Black Star as an album that we want to kind of like study the lyrics together. So if you guys go and watch some of those videos, and we'll come back together and talk about those, because I think it's kind of like going to a museum, right? And you're looking at a piece of art. Exact same thing with this music, because I am convinced inside that they're getting the messages, and the messages are embedded in the lyrics, and we're not looking at the lyrics. It's like we look for proof everywhere, and it could be right in front of our freaking face, and we wouldn't know. Okay, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. Back to Betty.
That Born in a UFO song that David Bowie was done in 2013. It's quite a recent one, and it's 3 years before he died. He released that one, so that's quite a recent one.
He was definitely impacted. I mean, you got Space Oddity. You got so many songs that he did. Just his alter ego right here. I mean, this picture right here should tell you something. You know,
absolutely.
He reinvented himself. The third eye is right there. It's the third eye. And where did we just talk about the third eye in the other song? In the Uprising song by Muse. They're leaving us messages. I'm convinced. I'm obsessed now because I'm like, I want to know, you know, it's like a puzzle. These lyrics are a little puzzle. So go ahead.
Absolutely. And their lyrics oftentimes were written when they were using psychedelics to expand their consciousness and their mind. So they knew before a lot of other people that never tried psychedelics. Still, many people have not tried psychedelics for that. But the experiential part of that, it just takes you to a completely different place, right? And I think that's where they get so many of the incredible lyrics that so many musicians have come out with. Most of them have, hi, Helen, we love you.
We love you, Helen.
Most musicians have actually spoken very honestly about their drug use and the psychedelic excursions that they took to be able to create the way they did. And it's really, really mind-blowing. I love it. I absolutely love it.
It's looking at all these cases and looking at their stories and looking at these lyrics is just a trip. I mean, I didn't even show you guys that this is Matt Bellamy from Muse, who we covered a little bit earlier. And but guess who we're going to cover next? I'm so excited. Sammy Hagar, you guys. Has anybody read Sammy's book on chat? I'm going to wait. Anybody on chat that has read Sammy's book, say yay. Of course, right now they're talking about whether or not BMR is lost. I report, breaking news, BMR is not lost. BMR is right here. He's okay, everybody. BMR is not lost. But anyway, that's freaking, dude, they're having a really good time in chat today. So anyway, so what was I talking about? Sammy. Did anybody read Sammy's book? If not, then I'm going to break some fun stuff for you guys. So here's our buddy, our friend, the Red Rocker himself, Sammy Hagar. And I'm going to play a short. There's several songs. Sammy says he was abducted by aliens. He explains, you know, his experience. He actually wrote a song that I highlighted because the lyrics of the song are a trip. I'm going to go ahead and read it, and I'm going to play this in a minute. But he wrote a song called Crack in the World. Okay. And he wrote this way back, right? So I found out what it is that's been driving me mad. There's no room to breathe between the good and the bad. The crush in between, there's a thin, thin line. But just around the corner, there's a change in design. It gets better. There's more. It's like an infomercial. Wait, there's more. I wish I could walk away and did what the preacher said. But those words don't satisfy me no more. And then this other one, just 50 more years. We're all going to know why, when, where, how, and who gets to go. By the way, the 50 years takes you to 2027 from when he wrote this. It gets better. So let's all have a good time before the Great Divide, also known as the shift, because things will start separating come 2025. That's this year. So look for the subtle clues. It won't make the front page news. That depends upon which side you choose. The truth is in the lyrics.
Yep.
Case closed. I'm like Jim Carrey. I close. The prosecution closes. Go. What do you think, Marlee? I'm gonna play that video here in a minute, but I mean,
well, I think that Sammy is pretty incredible. As you know, Chris, I shared this with you. I have literally met him a number of times in person.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, I'm from Canada, and one of my very good friends there is really good friends with Sammy. They met at a resort one time and became friends. And then every time he was coming to town, she'd call me up and say, Sammy's going to be in town if you want to come over. And we'd hang out, have a fire, have a drink, just chat. But what was beautiful for me with him, as many of you know here, I had a very difficult time finding people that I could have like-minded conversations with when I was when I was a younger person. And it was so beautiful because when I met Sammy, he was the guy. He was one of those people that actually had like mind. He was evolving. He was talking to me about consciousness, and he was talking to me about his experiences being on a UFO, different star families that were connecting in with him. So, he was pretty incredible. He was power. And honestly, I was a bigger fan of him for Van Halen than
you go there.
Yeah.
There's a big divide when it comes to Van Halen, and hopefully we'll be able to get Susan Messino back, who actually hung out with Van Halen, and she was the biographer for AC/DC. She wrote a book about them, and she was a guest on my show. And hopefully we'll get her back because I would love to talk about Van Halen. They just go back to, the behind the scenes, because she had strong opinions too about, she thought David Lee Roth was actually pretty chill, which I never thought I would say about David Lee Roth, because his on-screen personality he had a huge personality. But so real quick, so I am going to go ahead and play that video, and then we're going to talk about another song that everybody knows, that I think everybody knows about. That's Sammy Hagar, in which he also talks about some really interesting stuff. So hold on, I'm going to play this. Features the song "Crack in the World" that I was quoting earlier, and here we go. Sammy Hagar, the Red Rocker.
Chris.
Oh, what?
This you just said about someone said the divide in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Look how divided the world is right now. They're dividing us into different in every community. Look at the UFO community. Look at everything. And the other thing is, who will go? You said. That's what. Who go where?
That's well. I'll actually let that. Now we're talking about the shift, because we're talking about a change in attitude and mindset, and who will embrace that, new world with new ideas, and be able to say, once you see that something is a lie, you can't turn it around. Marlee, help me out, because this is kind of your wheelhouse.
Oh, yeah. I love this, because it's all about what he's talking about is the people that will be going they're shifting into a higher vibrational aspect of self, where the entire planet will change and shift into a higher state of frequency. So this planet Earth, Gaia, is moving from a 3-dimensional state of frequency to a 5-dimensional state of frequency. When we hit the 5th dimension, in that type of vibration. That's what he's talking about. We have all of us that will be shifting into that have done the work, have gone within, have raised their vibration, and they will be shifting into a new earth energy. And you're going to be connecting in a lot more at that point with star families and everything, because the consciousness then expands at that point. And we've been blasted by the Schumann resonance for the last number of years to create this shift. And many of us can see, if you look at people, they're changing. Things are changing. People's attitudes are changing, you know? And a fine line now, Ben, has been drawn in the sand where the lower vibrational people that are really stuck within the matrix, they will stay there because they're choosing not to evolve. They like where they are in the matrix, and they work out fine there. And those people, it's okay, because they'll reincarnate. They get to do it over and over again as long as they want. But what Sammy's talking about is him actually shifting to be able to go back home to his planet, which is Electra in the Pleiades constellation, where his soul came from initially. That's what he's talking about.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know he was actually being specific to that.
Well, that's what we were talking about when I met. I would hang out with him.
Oh, that's right, because you actually got to talk to him. Dang, so you get the inside scoop on what he was really thinking on this. Not the mass, like, I mean, he wrote about it in his book, but it wasn't like to that level.
Yes. So
because you're gonna love Kevin McDougall. Dr. Marlee speaks Age of Aquarius. Yes, she do. She also speaks jive, like in the movie Airplane. Yes, I speak jive. She speaks Age of Aquarius. Oh,
thank you, Kevin.
He's really cool. You'll love Kevin if you meet him. He's really cool. So let me just play a little bit of Sammy, because there's more to Sammy. Sammy, and you know this because you knew him, or you know him because he's still alive. He's doing really well. He's rocking it out there. And he's in concert. I was like trying to get tickets to go. He came to Oklahoma. I'm so sad that I missed him, because he's just so amazing. And he's just a very committed guy. So here is Sammy Hagar in his I Saw a UFO episode.
But were you abducted by aliens when you were 18?
Yes, sir, I was.
No, for real?
Yes, sir, I was.
And stuff was downloaded into your head?
It was downloaded. Back then, this was about 1967. That they think you're crazy. Right. It'll take all your credibility away. Yeah. But I can't deny this. And all of a sudden, I see in my head.
So what happened?
So I'm laying in bed. I feel it, like I'm dreaming that there's these little alien, two guys sitting in a ship up on the hill behind us about 11 miles away. And there's like this, I could see they had something plugged into me.
50 more years, and we're all gonna know why, when, where, how, and who gets to go. Things will start separating come 2025.
That freaked me out, that I found that song and I was looking at the lyrics. I'm like, come 2025? Like now? And he wrote this in 1977, Benny.
It's not the only person who said 2025, though, is it? It's a few people have said it. Baba Vanga, Nostradamus, they've all said 2025.
Me.
But he wrote this back then. I mean, this is a while back. It's like this, I mean, the internet wasn't there at the time. These aren't stories that were really that easily pulled up. It's not something that was in an encyclopedia. I mean, there's obviously books, but, there was still, challenges. But here's another song I want to talk about Sammy Hagar, which, this is probably one of his most popular songs, is Love Comes Walking In is actually not about chicks. Did everybody know that? That this song is actually not about what you think it's about. This is actually based on, he got interested in a book by Ruth Montgomery called Aliens Among Us, which delves into the idea of walk-ins. Love comes walking in. So walk-ins being from other dimensions taking over human bodies. Hagar has discussed how this concept resonated with him and influenced his songwriting. Interesting, right? So in Love Comes Walking In, and when we look at the lyrics, let's see. Now that you know what this is really about, this is going to sound very, very different. So contact is all it takes to change your life, to lose your place in time. Contact, asleep or awake, coming around, you may wake up to find. So, and then a sense of change. Nothing feels the same. All your dreams are strange. Love comes walking in. Some kind of alien waits for the opening, simply pulls the string. Love comes walking in. I close my case, man. These guys know. The lyrics are being given. It's like, and how many musicians say that songs come out of nowhere? They're sitting there and all of a sudden it's like, I have to write it down. It's like, I just have to write it down. You know, the concept of the Akashic records, you know. Chris had a message up from Kevin. Yes, Kevin McDougall is here, Diane. You probably on top chat, baby. Put yourself in live chat. Sorry, this is how I am all the time. I'm like, bing, boom, bing, boom, bing. I'm probably listening to 40 hertz too many times. But isn't that a trip? Love Comes Walking In. How many times did you sing along to that song and didn't know that it was about aliens? And he wrote this in his book. So he didn't talk about that one, right, Marlee?
No, no. I don't know. When was that song written?
And that one's later because that was as part of Van Halen. I need to find out. That's later.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah,
I don't have it with me.
That's probably why then he didn't talk about it, because it might have been later after.
Oh yeah, this was probably in his this is in his Van Halen days. But
right.
Again, a guy that he's very much committed to his music. He still, you know, does concerts. He's still, you know, he's out there doing his thing. He's not a big drinker. He never has been. So this was not a guy that was like super partier. He was actually kind of the annoying one in the group that wanted to be committed. Like as far as Van Halen, he was like very like, we got to practice. We got to, you know, kind of very committed to his craft. So anyway, so that's, I love Sammy's story. Because that crack in the world, I mean, that is talking about what's happening to us today.
Absolutely.
And just, you know, I'm convinced this was kind of given to him as part of the big message. So anyway, that's what I have for our rock stars for the day. I'm trying to think. Did we want to cover something else? We talked about Black Star. We talked about Bowie. We talked about Sammy. We covered John Lennon. We didn't cover Mick Jagger. I didn't have his media up, but Mick also saw UFO. Actually, he saw two of them, believe it or not. So he saw one at the Alamo. There was a deadly concert that there was like the Hells Angels were involved with the stabbings, and in the middle of all that, supposedly he saw something, and then he saw something later when out of the date, the picnic. So there's something about, they talk about creativity, right? Being like an avenue. You know, I think it's so important to have that those creative thoughts and feed that fire of creativity, because I really think this is it's a tool that's being given to us somehow. You know, I wasn't spending a lot of time being creative for a long time, and I was disconnected. Yet when I started like doing videos and really thinking about, you know, it all kind of came together. And Marlee, what are your thoughts? I want to just kind of do some closing thoughts, and you know.
Well, my thoughts are that there is so much out there that we can do with this series that we're doing, because there have been so many. And I know even for myself, there's times when I've written music or lyrics or whatever that comes to me in the middle of the night, and somehow something is waking me up, forcing me to get out of bed and jot things down or speak it into my voice recorder on my phone. But I mean, this has been going on for years, and this is such a beautiful topic to me personally, because there are messages in everything for people. You know, you don't, if you're a channeler or whatever, and you get messages from divine realms, you can get that in many different ways. And most people, they are psychic. They do have those capabilities, but some of them get it in music. Some of them get it in synchronicity numbers. Some of them get it because they hear it coming from divine realms. So you do have the ability to get messages from the other side of the veil with the music that you're listening to. Just pay attention. Ask a question or put something into the universe, and then listen to a song. And I bet you anything that in the first 2 songs you listen to, the answer to your question is going to be answered, because the universe works in mysterious ways, and nothing is ever a coincidence, ever.
I agree with that.
When you look, hold on, I'm telling everybody's trying to find Kevin McDougal. Kevin McDougal is watching on Twitter, you guys. Talking about, where's Kevin? They're starting a search. They're gonna call Polite for missing Kevin. 911.
A wellness check.
Yeah,
we need a wellness check.
Kevin McDougal on Twitter. People, he is on it. It's okay. He is fine. Nathan's here.
Hi,
There we go.
Nathan.
I sort of talk to Nathan. Nathan's here. Nathan's not lost. Hi, everybody. Been listening, right? I'm Marlee of stuff. Thank you, Nathan. And music. Music is a unifier. We talk about this community being broken. I have a theory. I think we can start using music to bring it back together, because it's a tool. Yeah. We already know how it makes us feel. This is science. I mean, these frequencies do something. You know, water is impacted by ugliness and negativity, as well as positivity. Those are tests that have been done. I don't have a freaking video. I'm so sad. I don't have the blooded for that, but we know the tests. I mean, they're like, you know, the Japanese experiments on water, where you put cups of water and then you expose it to insults versus, you know, loveliness and flowers. You know.
Yeah, it's incredible. And, you know, you guys could look it up even if you haven't seen the video. It's not a long one, but it's Masaru Emoto's video on YouTube. And he literally shows the difference in what the water does. If you speak into water love and positivity, it will show you what that does. It'll also show you the snowflakes that makes. And then when you speak hate or anger or low vibrations into it, it's really incredible, because you get these really twisted up things that you're seeing. And you know that that's coming off of a low vibration. And yes, somebody just put in here, not only water, but plants too, right? Bang on, Freaky Geek. Because when we talk love to our plants, they thrive. And when we don't give them attention, or we just don't care and we neglect them, well, what happens? They start dying off, right? It's the same with humans, because we've got over 65% of our body is water. And like I said at the beginning of this, sound and frequency forces the water in the body to vibrate at a specific vibrational level. And sometimes it's not so good. And sometimes that kicks us down and puts us in a state where we want to be in the fetal position. And other times it's like, woo, you're jumping out of bed and you're feeling great, because you see the day is going to be good because the energies are good. So we have to, in anything, the plants, water, the music, our bodies, everything is affected. Nature is affected by sound. Nature is affected by hertz levels. And, you know, if you watch the animals outside, they'll let you know before a weather network will let you know when a storm is coming because they feel the energy.
You can tell, you know, you can tell what's going on. Go ahead, Bennett.
They do say water effect, animals can sense things like, say, cows lay down when it's going to rain and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're literally grounded all the time, right? They're like the closest. They don't have the technology that divorces us from the spirit of the universe and from the power of the earth and the globe. It's like they.
Well, is
they
it technology? Is it technology that's taking us away from that? We're losing them senses because of technology.
Well,
tell them, yeah, go for it.
We have to be very aware that we all need grounding, just like the animals do. And when we don't do it and we don't connect in with nature, it affects us. And the people that can't connect with nature or ground with bare feet in the ground out there, or stepping into water out there, that's creating a longer time for the average human to shift into the higher energies because they're not using the capacity that they have to be able to ground into that. Animals are already high vibrational because, like Chris said, they're grounding all the time.
Yeah.
It reminds me, I would assume that that's probably why our ancient civilizations were so connected, because they were similar to animals that were grounded all the time. They didn't have technology to distract them. They didn't have, you know, they had to understand the patterns of the earth and the globe and the, you know, the stars, and they looked out. I mean, they were so connected. That's probably why they had, you know, the ability to get downloads and to have that pure communication with other realms. That just because we can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It's just we have a veil, we have a cover. So, you know, and Nathan's going to have a show. We're so excited. Nathan, everybody go subscribe to Bigfoot Michigan Rob. Go subscribe to Nathan. Also, right here, Marlee, this show is multi-streaming to Cosmic Carousel. So, you had a show. Sorry, Nathan, I missed it. But you always have it at night, mijo. He's always like late at night. I can't. I don't stay up late. I'm like old. I'm going to start to use mine. Go ahead,
Nathan's show over here is like 3 a.m. for the UK.
Yeah, he's on. It's from Friday. Okay, so we'll have to go check it out. So everybody, go subscribe to Nathan. Go subscribe to Bigfoot Michigan Rob. That some great channels out there. No drama, guys. These channels are not drama. There's a lot of stuff that we can do, that we can cover, that we don't have to argue about whether the government will tell us or not. Lyrics is something that's out there. Music is something that's out there available to you. Study it. Deep dive into a group that, like I'm dying to find out. Flock of Seagulls. Those guys had to have something, it's like groups like that. And if you guys have suggestions of people that you want to see on the channel, let us know, because we're going to start doing this. Marlee and I are going to talk about whether it's going to be like every 2 weeks or every month, maybe, to get back together and hone in. Like I'll continue to do shorts. Like, I'm 7-parter right now. I have several more that I'm so excited about putting in. I don't know the long hair. I thought it was Rod Stewart from. You're talking about. I thought you were telling me that I'm Rod Stewart. You're talking about Sammy Hagar there in the red on screen, I think. So anyway,
I also wanted to.
You do it.
I wanted to say too, Nathan, I love your comment here where you said without grounding in an everyday way, we get mean, less harmonious, impatient, grumpy, and aggressive. I love that because you're absolutely right. I mean, if the weather is crappy and you can't ground outside, you can always do it inside doing a meditation, so just keep yourselves grounded as best you can. But I love that you sent that into the chat, Nathan. You rock.
He's awesome. You love.
Yeah.
I don't think you've met Nathan. Nathan's seriously cool. He loves AI stuff. We've been talking about doing something forever and we never do. That's probably my fault because I'm like, I go on. What's the last time I went on? Christmas. Anyway, but what was I going to say? There's so many things that are like popping into my head as we're talking about this because.
You said about the ancient people and civilizations. Don't the ancient astronaut theories say that they built the pyramids with sound and frequencies as well?
Absolutely.
And if you think about it, do they really look like they were just fancy cemeteries or sarcophagus? I mean, it's like they never found bodies in it.
Yeah, exactly. They never found the body in there, and plus, it's nowhere near where they found the tombs of the princes or whatever they were.
Yeah, no, it's
away.
No, it's yeah.
Location.
Yeah, they also found mercury underneath some of them. What a trip. And this is supposed to be like so old. It's like, come on, you guys. This was used for something else. They found...
Isn't there a water supply underneath it as well? There's an underwater under there as well.
They're designed to, run, towns. But yet we're supposed to believe that they're just made with like sticks and stones and manual and nobody really thought about it because... Okay, yeah, don't get me started on that. So Freaky Geek says, I recently learned yoga mantras are inviting Indian gods to take over your body. I'm not sure that all of them do, but some mantras probably do. I'm into transcendental meditation. I've been studying that because of David Lynch. I love David Lynch. Yeah. So that's probably one that people are like, I don't know. But I find it all fascinating. I love to meditation. Do you meditate, Benny?
I've done meditation, yeah, and the grounding, where meditation here and now sort of thing.
Does it? Yeah, so, have you found that it's helpful?
Yeah.
Do you know, if I could say, another way, a really good way of grounding as well, is giving yourself a nice bath, hopping in a bath and submerging your ears in the water, obviously not your face, but your ears, and listen for what you're going to get through that, because you can hear so much through the water. It's really incredible. And you can ground in because the water is here on Earth. So that's a really good way of doing that. Epsom salt, no fake lighting, use candles. If you have crystals, but candlelit bath with your favorite essential oils, and submerge your ears in the water and see what happens.
We're giving you guys tools here to deal with, the shift is happening, you guys. We see it in groups of people that all of a sudden are arguing for no reason. It's like they find a reason. There's like this binary split of people.
I've seen it.
Right? It's it's the microcosm.
There's no talking between them. They're splitting and arguing over little tiny things, whereas before they'd talk and try and sit down and sort it out. And now they're not even bothering. They're not even seeing. We're never all going to see eye to eye. That's what makes us different. There's no talking between us anymore. And you can see
instigation.
Every single community, everywhere, it's happening. They're dividing us. And
it happens at work. I'm seeing it in like little groups at work. You got groups at the community of UFOs, even homesteading. It doesn't matter. It's like it's happening all over the place. So bye, Bigfoot Miss BMR is leaving the building. BMR is leaving the building. Thank you for dropping by, honey. I'm so glad you're here. We love you. We hope you enjoyed it. So thank you very much. And then Kevin says, what a great show. So much new info and advice. We're going to be bringing it because the thing is that there's so many stories. And each story, each experience opens up a new hallway, right? It's like this particular musician heard, got X from the experience. This other musician got Y from it. But like the pulling the strings, that's all over the place. It's like go ahead.
we need to get all the different stories and then take a step back and look at the bigger picture, see what's going on, because then generally you'll find out what's going on. Some of it, you see it on the UFO TV, or the UFO celebrities, they're saying one thing and another and then contradicting. But if you take a step back and see what fits, what actually is happening, what makes sense, that's where I see you'll find the truth.
It's like a murder board, right? You start to, when you start to put it all together and kind of step back, and you start to see like Venn diagrams. You know, these things are overlapping. There's all these sections that are in common to all of it. We spend so much time trying to wait for somebody to give us validation that these things are real, that these synchronicities mean something. I don't need some government person, a congressman or a senator to tell me that something is freaking weird. I mean, I will say something, I will think of something, it will just happen. I won't even look at it online. This is not algorithms. There's some pure synchronicities happening once you see it. It's like you can't, once you see it, you can't turn it off. It's happening automatically, and people call you crazy. I don't care. I know this is true. I don't need anybody to tell me. You see, I get all, there we go. Back to you guys. I'm going to use my hands. Back to you.
You can see it.
Don't tell me what I can and cannot believe. Go ahead.
When do we need
I have to get that out of my system. Woo!
I just don't see why we need the government to tell us what's going on. We've not really trusted them, so why would we trust them now? We all know what's going on. We can see it with our own eyes. They're telling us one thing, but we can see opposite.
I never, hold on, I want to address this. Freaking, I never did understand Venn diagrams. And since word salad Harris mentions them a lot, they can't be good. Actually, it's a total nerd term for whenever you have two pies that are overlapping, that little slice in between is where the joins happen. It's not specific to any politics, and she's definitely don't own it, because I was using that term in the 80s, because I'm old. I'm actually older than her. There we go. Back to you guys. I am on fire. I am so excited about this show because it's going to, there's going to be a lot of things that come up. Betty, I would love to have you back with us for the next part if you're game.
I'm more than welcome. I'll come on anytime.
I love you, man. So what do you, let's, we're going to start wrapping it up because I'm going to go ahead and play the last 10 minutes. I'm going to do an encore presentation of video that premiered earlier, which is the newest MFTV music video, which is Robbie Williams, who wrote an entire song called Arizona.
I have just sent you a link. I have just sent you a link to this is from the previous show, of a drone. When I did say they weren't waterproof. Now, I've only just seen this very recently, where an FPV drone comes out of the water and flies, and it's only quite a new one. I've sent you the link. It's only a short from YouTube.
Oh, let's do it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we talked about that on our last thing.
I can send you it in the, it's sent in the private chat on.
It's in the private, hold on. Let me see.
It's only a 30-second short, but it's an FPV, and they can do up to about 100 miles an hour, these. So they are very quick. It's quite a new one. And it is
a waterproof drone. It's a waterproof drone.
Yeah.
Oh my. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to share. I'm going to share. Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. Celebrate our differences. Share screen. Hold on. I'm rusty, you guys. I'm rusty. Screen sharing is easiest with 2 monitors. Well, shut up. Some screens to let you share me. Okay, get it. Sorry, I argue with my computer all the time. That's just what I do. Which screen? I don't know. Oh, here I go. Waterproof drones. Also share audio. Okay, let's share. Let's watch this. Hopefully I won't get in trouble. Okay. That's what you want me to share, right?
Yeah, it's an iFlight FPV drone is this one. And it is waterproof, as you can see.
Get in trouble, but oh, so they fly in. Oh, we're kind of screwed now. right? I'm like, if
I
they
don't
fly,
know. I don't know what it can do underwater, but I know it now can fly out the water and be
I'm
perfectly
trying to
fine.
cancel. Hold on. There. Yeah, that's interesting. We're in trouble now. And again, with technology changing the way it is, like one of the things that Robbie in the video that I'm going to show, Car just made it to the chat. Robbie Williams talks about the fact that when he first had his experience, he was like little green man, yay, and then when he started really looking at things, it's like, am I looking at technology that I'm not supposed to look at? And that's basically, I think, where we're at. Car, we're so glad you made it, even though you're late, because we love you. And next time you'll have to join us with Benny up here, because we're going to make a series out of this car. So you'll have to rewatch, because we're giving a lot of tools. We're going to be doing research on music. We covered the beats today. We're going to be doing other frequencies and really kind of deep diving. So when you put this all together, you should be able to have a really good feel for what this topic is all about. Oh, Ben, anything else from you before we start to wrap it up?
All I can say, I'm nothing really, apart from I do know recently I've looked into the MH370 thing, but that's about it. They have started.
We need to talk about that one. I've avoided that. Let's talk about that for a second. I've avoided this topic because I didn't want to hurt the families, but at the same time, there's some things that can't be avoided. Tell me what you think.
I've spoken to one of the family people from Australia, and she's quite horrified about all the conspiracy theories, because we have found debris from the aircraft, and the debris they found matches MH370, the exact aircraft. So it's not like it's not. I know Adam Forbes has said that they've not found it or something like that, but they found the handbook that in the cockpit that matches the aircraft. It's got the aircraft registration number. They've then got different data, different locations. The vessel is called Armada 7806. It's going back to searching a particular location again now. It's just finished a week of searching one area. So they will find it. It is a case of time. And they've got a lot of new evidence. In fact, they've got a new witness from it now. Emirates A380 captain came forward saying that he saw the aircraft on the day it went missing, and he reported it, and it hasn't come forward, but now it has come to light. So
I just want these people to have peace,
that's what it needs. We need to find it, and all the conspiracy theories need to stop, because it's not fair on them.
We need to be responsible as we step out there and we put content out here. The internet's forever. People will find it.
It was 11 years yesterday. Exactly 11 years yesterday. And one of the things Ashton Forbes says, as he said on that Candice Owens show, he says the fire in the cockpit. They do have masks that they put on when they smoke. But what he didn't say is that they have now got things, that plastic sheets that go to the instruments, so blocks smoke, so they can still see the instruments to fly the aircraft. So that's not an issue. And if there were fire on board, like he says, or it were abducted, the aircraft would have been down in minutes, 6 at most, and it flew for 7 hours after.
I think it's time.
We know whereabouts it is, and some new evidence of locations of where it is. I'm watching that quite carefully recently.
I'm glad you're a very responsible person. You look at this very much like this. This is we're trying to prove that, hey, it's time to put this to bed. Let these people.
I've just seen it from the side of the aviation side of it, because we've got signals from the engines to the manufacturers of Rolls-Royce for 7 hours. That's the reason why we know it was still in the air. And we're talking about a Boeing 777, which is one of the most reliable aircraft in the sky. We've only ever lost 2. MH370 and MH17 that were shot down over Ukraine. They're the only 777s we've ever lost. No other one. To say it's abducted by aliens, and I wish it was true. I do wish it was, but it's not.
I'm going to say something about this. I'm going to say something about this because I usually just shut my mouth, right? But in this one, I'm going to go ahead and speak, and it's not going to be too bad. But it's like we cannot lose our humanity in this quest for answers. We cannot use stories for
personal gain
for it. And I'm not saying it's clickbait. I'm just saying to use stories and get so obsessed with the story that you're trying to make something happen that's just, it's hurting people. We cannot lose our humanity. These people, their stories have people, and these people are real, and these people have families, and these families are just trying to move on, and we just won't let them. So I'm sorry. We have to be better than this.
There's a few different things about it. To say the first officer wasn't trained, it was training. Yes, he was training as a trainee captain, first officer on the 777. But yeah, he'd been flying on the A330 for years, which is another wide-body, long-haul aircraft. So he still knew how to be a first officer, just not on the 777.
I'm glad that people like you are doing that research and making sure that we're still keeping an eye on the fact that things are being found and that's being not necessarily covered, because it's not a convenient thing to say. That
the debris they found has been washed up on the east coast of Africa, so the current of the Indian Ocean does go that way, so it would wash up on that. And the reason why they haven't found much debris is because he landed the aircraft on the ocean, which is possible, which would then leave a little debris and the aircraft would just sink. And he did it deliberately, so it wouldn't be found. That's the reason why he did it. The best person who goes through the story of MH370 is Mentor Pilot, and he does a story and he tells you in great detail, and he goes through the systems of the aircraft, the satellite communication, ACARS, they call it, as uses 2 different antennas on the aircraft. So to say one, it will fire, would cut it all completely, and it didn't. It was a few seconds after it got switched off. So it got switched off inside the cockpit. And he explains the reason why. It's just the UFO story. I don't think there's nothing to it. It disappeared, and it was a captain that did it. It was a suicide thing, in all honesty.
And I'm not saying that direct energy weapons are not a thing. I just don't think that this is it. I don't think that this is the thing that will prove it. And this is just not right. But anyway, I do want to turn it up a little bit because I forgot to cover that Oliviero's friend Mauricio Bayata, ufologist and music journalist, interviewed David Bowie in Rome. I have forgotten. I had that pinned up. I'm like, we got a connection. Mauricio actually talked to Bowie. And Mauricio, Oliviero is always talking about Mauricio, so I feel like I already know him. But Benny, I appreciate everything you've done for that, because it just needs to be put to bed, So, and the way to put it to bed is to show that evidence and to make sure that people are like, hey, you're hearing all this other stuff, but guess what? Pieces have been found. This is not a plane that's gone into a different dimension. Don't keep people's hopes up. But anyway, and God bless the families, and we pray for them to just finally move on and be able, the
one thing
the idea that this happened to anybody is just terrifying. So
one of the reasons why I say I'm quite confident they will find it is because Ocean Infinity is the people that are looking for it. They found the Titanic. And they are doing it on a base of no find, no fee basis, which costs thousands of dollars. They wouldn't do that if it wasn't credible. And they're going to spend months doing it. And they're doing it in different locations, and they're going over a couple of locations what they've already been over, just to double check.
Ooh,
I just don't believe the Ashton Forbes story. Because it says what some of the stuff he does say is true, especially the smoke on board in the cockpit thing, but he's not telling you the whole story from a particular crash that they had of a 747 with smoke in the cockpit. That since that they put things in place that stops it. Plus, if there were fire on board at 30,000 feet, you're not going to get oxygen, so it wouldn't really anything would happen. It just doesn't make sense to me.
And
From the
I'm with you,
aviation
my
side of
friend.
it.
Again, every time that comes up, I just don't even. I've been kind of ignoring it, and I'm not trying to start beefs with anybody. It's just not my, that's not my style. I don't think we should be doing it. I don't agree, but that's my opinion. So, but I do want to share. Look, Helen Crystals. Bowie was a regular at a pub just up the road from me when beings were visiting me in my room. Helen, you're gonna have to join us next time because we're gonna at Black Star. In case you missed it, you guys go watch the videos. I'm gonna put this in the description of the show. Go watch the Black Star videos from David Bowie. His last gift to humanity was his music, and those videos and the lyrics tell a lot. So we're gonna be looking at that. And then let me Carr he was talking about an experience he had that year. What year, Carr?
2014, I think he's on about.
2014. He said it was a drop shaped craft, kind of like no, that wasn't. Was it drop shape? Cash Lundrum? Wasn't Cash Lundrum
14?
Yeah, 2014. I think Cash Lundrum was like Landrum was a drop shape craft. There you go. Oh, and it flew over my town really low. Dang, dude. I haven't seen anything, but I can't wait to. And when I do, I don't know what I'll do. I'll just be like, I don't know what to do. So, okay. So Benny, where else we're just going to find you here next time. Are you doing other things? Oh,
I'm doing a few things, but it's to do with aviation and the drone things. I've got a few videos to do, so.
Cool. Well, if you want to share them with us when we get back, we can have a little corner like Curious George does his updates. We can have Resident Benny, Resident Aviator, the Aviator. Benny the Aviator. That's what we're going to call
I've got a couple of videos to do with the drones to put together. I'm just trying to get them.
Yeah.
Some right stuff.
Oh my God. Look who's here. Puck Elf. Hi. We go way back. This is like, and Benny, Puck. Sapphire Elf, so we haven't seen him in a while. So good to see you, bud. And then I heard that there are satellites capable of detecting the opening of stargates around the Earth. If they have put them in orbit, there must be a reason, I believe. Very interesting. So, okay, so Marlee, what are you going to be up to? We're going to say goodnight. And we're going to say goodbye. What are you going to be up to?
I am going to be up to planning the other videos to this series with you. And I've been really, really stepping in more to my writing and my creative stuff. So I've been making blankets and I've been painting and I've been really on that trajectory right now. And we got podcasts will be coming up. So
I have to share, you guys. She made me the best blanket. I'm going to post a community post. So I have Cindy painted me a picture of one of my sunsets. And then I got from Marlee this care package. That was insane. I'm going to put something out there for it. I'm sorry. I've been taking care of pets and it's been driving me crazy and I haven't been able to do that. But the blanket is the best. I love it so much. You're going to love how it looks in the living room. She made me it is so pretty. So I'm going to post that out there for you guys to go check it out as well. Hi, vibes for Cat. Which cat is this? Is this a cat I know? Hi vibes for Cat. So, but are you? Yeah. So we are going to be back. We will be posting out there the next show we're going to have. Again, it will be open StreamYard. So if you guys kind of want to jump on, now you understand kind of what we're doing. So we'd love to have you. Oh my God, it's Cat1137. Talk about somebody that I've known her for like 3 years, at least. Cat, it's so good to see you. Okay, so are we ready to close the show with a video? You guys want to do that? Let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, to stay in topic, here is another rock star that had an experience. This is Robbie Williams. So, Helen, you like Robbie Williams? I assume that all Brits like Robbie Williams. Helen, Helen, this is how I talk to Chad. Hey, Helen, you like Robbie Williams, Helen? Helen. It's really annoying because I'm on like microphone. It's probably really bad. There's Helen. Helen, tell me if you like Robbie Williams when we're done. Okay, so anyway, thank you for joining us today for this first of Rockstars and UFOs. And I knew she would. Jeanette likes him too. Jeanette loves him.
He was part of a group, Take That, though, originally, Robbie Williams. He wasn't...
I didn't know anything about Robbie Williams. I mean,
Yeah.
I saw he won an award, and in his acceptance speech, he basically thanked drugs, alcohol, depression. It was the best acceptance speech that I've ever seen, because he basically thanked all of his challenges for the man he is today. And isn't that what, Marlee, isn't that what we're supposed to do as we go through the shift? Figure out how you react to things. It's how you react to things, not they happen. So
absolutely. And Oliviero, enjoy your meditation. Thank you for being here.
Oh, is he leaving? Thank you. Oliviero is in Italy and he stayed up super late. So not that poor Benny's in the same boat. So I love you.
It's only 8 p.m. here, so it's a bit...
Oh, okay, you're not. I've seen Robbie a couple of times and Bowie 3 times. Oh, you're coming with us. I'm sorry. Even if you don't do it on video, I don't care. You're gonna be on the next show, Helen of Crystals. Okay, so here we go. Have a wonderful Sunday. Have a fantastic week. We will see you here in a couple of weeks or in a month. I don't know. I'll let you know. But in the meantime, I will also be posting new rock stars with their experiences to keep us busy until then. So love you guys. And here we go. Let me present Robbie Williams. Share screen. Robbie, where are you, Robbie? Robbie. There we go. Robbie. Here we go. And here we go. Okay, hold on. Is there no audio? No sound, no sound. Hold on. Let me do this again because it's different screen. Give me a second. I'll do it this way. 1 second. I never present from my own screen. So hold on. Where is it? Robbie Williams. Is it? Okay. Let me see.
So it was at least 19 years ago because it was with a lady that
you
wasn't
now?
Ida. And we were both on lounges looking up at the sky, and it was about 10:30 at night, and then all of a sudden, and I was completely sober, all of a sudden, the size of 2 football boxes, penalty areas, flat, matte black underneath with these yellow lines, square, came in silently and slowly above me, and I was just staring at it, and I could have hit it with a tennis ball, and then it slowly went out again. Now, At the start of my loving all of this stuff, I was just like, aliens, little green men, outer space, blah, 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 blah. Now I've educated myself a little bit. And the first thing I thought when I saw this thing was, there's a bit of technology that I'm not supposed to see, that we're not supposed to know that they've got. And when I say they, I think that was probably ours, governmental or whatever. So I don't, these days, rush to little green men.
There is a lot of sightings in America. Obviously, we're talking about this program, which is set in Wales. But Arizona is a reason why, firstly, you wrote a song because of the whole alien connection.
Yes.
I discussed that.
Okay, yeah.
We know everything. I'm sorry, we talk about everything in the
Okay,
morning.
no. So we wrote this song, Arizona, as a B-side. It's not one of, you know, it's not an incredible song. But I was listening to it in the studio, and I was listening to it in the studio because I was trying to lyric it better. And this gold ball appeared in the sky, and then when the song ended, it went off again, and then it came on when the song was on, and then it came off again. And I was sort of smoking at the time, not weed, I was smoking at the time. And I was thinking, yeah, you're not fooling me, Venus. Anyway, it kept doing it every time the song came on, and then it kept disappearing every time the song went.
Oh.
I showed Ida and everybody that was in the studio, said, look at this, came back into the room going, wow. A black strip appeared.
Oh, that's what she said.
A black strip came from the door, through the middle of us, went to the window, and then followed itself out, and we all did
And you
that.
saw this? Had a flash on our screens as you did that. Did you see that? I imagine that. What was that? Do you know what?
Last clear, 7, go ahead. An object which is in the same place all the time and appears to be
Visitors, engineering. All we need is a clearing. We don't know what to feed them, or even if we really need them. Highway to the stars tonight. Leave the bad news at home. Highway to the stars tonight. Look out below. Look out below. Look out below. Look out below. Serious, can you hear me? I know you're there. Will you steal me? 51, I'll be waiting. If you don't mind, I'll bring my maiden. Highway to the stars tonight. Leave the bad news at home. Highway to the stars tonight. Look out below. Look out below. Look out below. Look out below. In the gentleman's club, they're passing round their ready rub. It's such a hollow balloon. Telling people what to do. They're watching you. Entities all around me.
was the V. And it moved and moved. I watched it for 10 minutes.